Hello, I'm Glenn Starkey of Progressive Components. On behalf of Don Starkey, my partner, and our entire Progressive team worldwide, first we'd like to express to you our well wishes for you and your family during this COVID-19 crisis. We hope for your safety and well-being. Secondly, as a link in the supply chain, we understand our responsibility and the need for our preparedness. We've conveyed our measures for preparedness to customers and suppliers via email letters, via social media, and we thought it best to take things a step further to assure you that we're ready for the role that we have in this critical time. Before we take a walk around our building today, first let me speak to measures that we took 3 weeks ago, which in many ways seems like 3 months ago. On March 9th, we restricted access to our building to only those in distribution and order fulfillment roles. Since then, we've sealed off our warehouse area in a separate zone from 2 other zones within this HQ facility. The idea is so that if somebody in MIS needed to get to a server, or if somebody in engineering needed to perform inspection to parts, that them being in the building for this brief time would have in no way any exposure to our team in warehousing and distribution. The team's been doing great, and we want to thank all of our customers who've been sending us letters describing their preparedness, describing that they are part of an essential industry, and then therefore our supplier role is also one that is essential to them. Now let's head out to the warehouse. In addition to Progressive's HQ location here, we have regional service centers in South Carolina, Southern California. We've got a team across Europe with inventory in Portugal, and Progressive Components Asia was set up in Singapore over 20 years ago. Here it's a quiet Sunday afternoon, but during the week, it's been hustling and bustling. We have a team that begins at 5 a.m. Their shift ends, they go home, and this next shift, without any overlap or interaction, begins. Again, these locations sealed for the safety of the warehouse team. And when their shift begins at a single entrance and it ends at a single exit, with temperatures being taken when they enter. But for those who in the past have worked on this side of the warehouse zone, it's all about, similar to your companies, effectively working from remote locations. So that's nothing new at Progressive. We've had hoteling stations at our facility for years. We've had teams operating across borders for decades. And for example, our customer service team works with an inventory that's integrated throughout all locations all throughout the world. There's not continental silos that they have to overcome in order to meet customers' needs. And then lastly, for those who are making a cameo appearance at one of the non-warehouse zones here, exits are properly maintained, and in an emergency, this wouldn't slow anybody down. So here we are, back to where we started our little tour of our home that's been modified for the conditions that have faced all of our companies, the cards that we've all been dealt. And I'd like to close by saying there's not a trade show that goes by where we're not approached by customers complimenting our team for their positivity, for their energy, and I always give credit where credit's due. We're motivated by our customers and what it is our customers do. So throughout this whole facility, we've got a dozen photos of customers all throughout to remind us of who we're working for. And at this time, in this crisis, first and foremost, all of our hearts and prayers go out to those of the front line in our hospitals who are putting their lives at risk, those first responders who are putting their lives on the line. And then after that is where manufacturing comes in. We're gonna have to be manufacturing our way out of this to the other side. So to that, on behalf of all of Progressive, I'd like to say, God bless you, your family, God bless molders and mold makers. Thank you for everything that you do.